to Second String, where we talk all other tech. So this week's Second String is pretty much social media heavy. We only have a couple things to talk about, but the things that we do have to talk about are fairly interesting. So let's kick it off with Twitter. So Twitter is toying with a new feature called unmentioning, which allows you to remove yourself from a conversation on Twitter, whether someone tags you in it, unbeknownst to you, you're put in a conversation that you don't necessarily want to be in. You will be able to remove yourself from that tweet, and removing yourself using this unmentioning, you won't be able to be added back to this thread. So it's like, you don't want to be here. If someone else tries to add you back, that we're not going to allow that to happen. So I think it's just another improvement to the app. I think they are listening to people to some extent. They're like, get over this edit thing. You're not getting that, but we will give you this unmentioned feature. And it doesn't appear, based on what I've read, to be a part of Twitter Blue. It appears to be a part of just the free subscription.
Okay.
The free subscription service. So it'll help you, curate your timeline even more. As we talked about a bit in the pre-show, we know that social media can be a bit of a dumpster fire. On its worst days, on its good days, it can be very helpful. But in this particular instance, for this feature that they're testing out now, it hasn't been pushed out, platform wide. It is still in the testing phase, but it will give you the opportunity to leave a conversation that, one, you didn't be asked to be in, and two, you don't want to be in anymore.
Well, so I just recently noticed that when I do feel like replying to a comment, whether it be the original poster or replying to somebody who replied to the original poster, you can actually go in before you reply and select specifically who you want to reply to. So I've been trying to do that more when I want to respond to a specific
person,
comment.
not everybody that's on the
Not
thread.
everybody above me or everybody that person replied to or mentioned or whatever. So I'm trying to be more cognizant in doing that. This unmentioned thing is for, like, if I put out an original post and then everybody is replying and then
it goes viral. You was like, I don't want to be a part of this no more.
Right.
Even though it's mine, I don't want to be a part of it.
But I think that is a gift and a curse, right? Because if I don't want to if I'm not a part of the conversation, right? If the third person replying is not necessarily replying to me, they're replying to the person that replied to me, and then them two want to have a conversation,
I don't need to be in
ABC my way out, because you're not really talking to me, even though I started the subject.
Initiated it. Yeah.
Right. You're not really talking to me.
I was the conduit between the two of you.
Right.
I don't want to be that link anymore. Let's
have
break
that conversation amongst yourselves. But
right.
I think as the original poster, and something does go viral, it could be for good, and you've highlighted something that everybody decided to talk about, and you don't want to have your phone buzzing because, okay, I get it, everybody responding or whatever, so you can turn you can unmention yourself that way. That'd be a benefit, but also a negative, because if you go viral for saying something dumb, personally, I think it should stay on to where you gonna feel this heat for saying something stupid, right? So the ability to unmention yourself when you say something stupid, you don't want to delete it because we screenshot it, whatever the case may be. You can't edit
it lives
it
forever. You might as well not delete it because it's not going nowhere. Someone got it.
Right. I think it may not necessarily backfire, but I in some cases I think it is a good thing that you can't unmention yourself right now, because again, you may say something dumb and your phone should burn up because you did say something dumb. But I think for what this is meant for is, if I'm replying to something and people are responding after me and I'm no longer part of the conversation, yeah, I should be able to unmention myself.
Right. And again, let me be clear. Like I said, it is only for a smaller population of the Twitter audience. And for now, it's only on the web version. So again, they're testing it, I'm sure, seeing the engagement, seeing how it works, keep working out any kinks. So I hope that this makes it into production for the actual app, because I think a lot of people will take advantage of this, because it's like, I don't want to be in this anymore. My name's Bennett. I'm not in it. Let me out.
And it keeps
So
down confusion because if
yeah.
I'm following along on the conversation, I could get lost in who you're actually talking to. And I've seen it many a time on
Hmm.
Twitter to where somebody will reply to something and the person two people above, that ain't what I meant. That ain't what I said. And then other
Hmm.
people are like, I wasn't even talking to you. But I've seen that kind of whole
Yeah.
conversation play out. I wasn't even talking to you. I was talking to the person that said bye 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 bye.
XYZ.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I've seen
My
that play out.
bad.
Unmentioning yourself and people seeing that you're not a part of that conversation could keep down a lot of confusion as well.
Yep. And it seems like I haven't checked the web version to see if I have it. I probably don't. But in case you want to check to see if you have it, the leave this conversation option will appear in the menu that pops out of the corner of the tweet tab. So when you click like the little plus button with the little tweet, and that you'll also see the mute and embed options as well. But if you click on the leave the conversation, it'll bring up an option menu that gives you the full rundown of what's going to happen when you leave this conversation. The
Well, I
username
don't.
gets untagged, it stops future mentions in the conversations, and again, you'll stop getting the notification. So it gives you, pretty much before you decide to leave this conversation, we're going to tell you exactly what this entails. In case you change your mind, or you want to, I don't think you can undo it, but it's one of those things where it does give you pretty clear distinction and lines around what goes along with leaving a conversation.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't go viral like that. So I don't think I'm gonna be. I don't think I'm a. I don't think I had to worry about this. I did all that talking. I never had to worry about it.
But one day you might. You never know.
Maybe.
So the next thing up in second string, I mentioned it was very social media heavy this week. My have the tables turned. Uh, Facebook, i.e., Meta, caused that big stink about Apple taking 30% of the revenue from the App Store. Well, 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 hello, Metaverse. Um, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, they want to take up to 47.5% on digital assets sold within the virtual reality platform Horizons World. So I guess it's not good for Apple to come for 30% of your revenue. They want to up the ante a little bit and come for almost 50% of what you sell
It's such hypocrisy.
in this digital space. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but we did a whole, I think it was over a course of a couple of weeks where we talked about this, because they took out full page ads in like 10 newspapers, saying that this is the worst for the consumer. We're thinking about you, our customer, because again, if a product is free, or if a service or app is free, you, the individual, are the product. So I saw that on Twitter and I was like, that is very true and a very good way to think about it. And of course, these apps, Facebook, Twitter, all of these things are free. So you are the
Right.
product. And I guess maybe this is the way Facebook is coming back for the revenue they're losing out on this app transparency. They're coming for 50% of your digital assets in the metaverse. So I thought I saw this and I was like, you know what? I'm not even surprised by this. I'm not even surprised by Mark Zuckerberg uh, doing this.
Right. I mean, nobody is. I mean, because all you got to do is go on his Facebook page, like in this story you referenced in the show notes. They found and pulled the quote where Zuckerberg shared on Facebook, and this is the quote: "As we build for the metaverse, we're focused on unlocking opportunities for creators to make money from their work. The 30% fees that Apple takes on transactions make it harder to do that. So we are updating our subscriptions products so now creators can earn more." And then they turn
And by the
around.
creators earning more, Apple earns more because they're taking 50% of
Right. So
the revenue that you make.
it's crazy that, people like Zuckerberg and even like Elon Musk in recent weeks,
Oh,
their
we'll talk about this later.
comments, It's like they don't nobody says, "Hey, man, don't say that because X, Y, and Z and ABC." You know, it's just like
You're
they'll
being
just they really
hypocritical.
believe that the thing that they are about to say is this revolutionary,
Mind blowing.
mind blowing, no way negative comment that they're about to say.
They sound like
when
a genius. This makes
right,
them huge businessmen. And I think what's the kicker to this, the the Meta's VP of Horizon, Vivek Sharma says, quote, "We think it's a pretty competitive rate in the market. We believe in other platforms being able to have their share." But you just told Apple that they was taking too much of the share. But now it's okay because you want to take a share and a half, pretty much. Now it's okay because it's the competitive rate. Really, sir? The nerve, the
yeah,
gall. That's
yeah,
just like, wow, this is really what you're doing. Like,
right,
you
right.
said this out
Boldface,
loud.
boldface.
You said it in print and you said it on your app. So you really believe this, right?
Right,
So it's just really hypocritical. And it's one of those things where I don't think anybody is surprised, but it's just like the gall for
right,
you to be so up. I mean, I guess they could kind of hide it somewhere, but they're like, nope, this sounds good. We're being
right.
competitive.
Mhm.
It's just, it's wild. Almost 50%.
47%. That is a big percent for anything. Anything 47.
Anything.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So you have to like make sure you charge people enough
To
to
make up that
to
45%.
make up that 47,
Uh-huh.
50% that they're taking.
Yep. Yep.
It's wild. It's wild. But what do you expect from this particular company?
Yep. If they can do it, they will. They
As you've
won't
said
if
multiple times before, if they could do it,
mhm.
they will they'll steal it all. If they could get away with 75%
They
and
do it.
they do it. I mean, they're already pretty close at almost 50. So, you know, people will take as much as you're willing to allow them to take.
And again, not excusing Apple for taking 30%, but
No,
it's just like you can't complain about Apple taking 30 and then you turn around and take 47.
right. And I mean, and have a full court press about how wrong it is.
Right.
Like, what?
Yep.
Crazy, man. Crazy.